Sancha, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And fair warning, it could get heavy.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just letting you know. But I wanted to start out, typically I start out people's origin stories, where were you born and raised, and we'll get there. But I want to hear about some of your happiest times. If you can recall some of your proudest moments in your life, happiest times.
Having my children.
Tell me more.
I had my first daughter in 2005. When I found out I was pregnant with her, I got clean and sober, And then bam, I got pregnant back to back to back to back.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I have 2 little girls, so I know what it's like as a parent.
Yeah, so, and then, I stayed clean and sober for a long time. So.
Did you raise your kids?
Yeah,
Okay.
most of the way, yeah.
Tell me about your daughter, your firstborn.
Oh, she's very smart, and she saved me. It's very hard for me to talk about my kids.
Yeah.
I'm separated from them.
Yeah. I bet.
Yeah. So I have 3.
Yeah.
And one more. She's kind of adopted,
Yeah. So first one's a girl.
Girl, boy, girl, and then the adopted one's a girl. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Blanca, Sergio, Carmelita, and then 7 is the other one.
Oh, gotcha. So let's see, 2005. So she's
2005, 2006, 2011. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one is 2006.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah. I was a Girl Scout troop leader for my oldest.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back then and kind of talk about where were you born and raised?
Between here and LA.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't like to talk much about.
And if you're open, and I know you just said you don't like to talk much about it, but is there any points of what was it like growing up for you?
Lonely.
Mom and dad raised you?
No. Well, I mean, one of them, yeah.
Any brothers, sisters in the mix?
Half brothers and half sisters.
Gotcha.
I don't talk to them though, so.
Yeah. What part of LA? Out of curiosity.
Pico Rivera.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But I came up here a lot. My dad's up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
In LA, in Pico Rivera, did you do high school and
I didn't go to high school.
all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was going on in your teenage years?
Gangs and getting in trouble and drugs.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I started really early. Yeah.
How does that happen in your life at such an early age?
I don't know. Like, I guess I was just really wild. And back then they said it was mental health, but I see things differently now,
Yep.
I don't think it's so much that as I was lonely,
Yeah, you want to kind of
trying to fill the void.
Yeah, feel that hole.
And that's why I was able to quit when I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. I mean, I just put it down.
Yeah. You just quit cold turkey.
Cold turkey, I just put it down and walked away from it and didn't go back to it until everything happened with me. I'm out here now,
Yeah. What?
When I lost everything and I was empty again, so,
Yeah, there's something, I relate, because when I was a kid, that hole, that chasm of that feeling of loneliness, that depth, darkness, can be so engulfing.
It is engulfing. It's completely engulfing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you find that thing that like maybe numbs it or fills it, you're like, zoop.
Yeah, exactly, because like finally there's some I don't know, like a break, or like
right, some reprieve from that feeling, that pain of pain.
Because it's completely like just it is like it just completely engulfs every part of you,
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Well, let's see. At some point, you came to Seattle.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, back and forth a lot, but
right.
like really where hits me is like in when in 2018 my marriage ended.
Okay.
And he lied. He lied and took everything from me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody, like, a lot of men have a similar story, but it's strange that it happened to me, you know? As a woman, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see it coming, you know? So
This is like out of left
he
field.
planned it. He planned, you know, it was all planned, and I was not found guilty of what he said, you know?
And this is the person you had your children with?
Yeah.
The 3 children?
Yeah.
And the 4th
Yeah.
kind of adopted?
All my kids.
All your kids. And so you guys were like living together?
16 years.
16 years.
Yeah. And he just totally betrayed me. I was in jail for a long time over it, and he wouldn't even say the truth because he was afraid of getting in trouble. He's completely okay with me going away for a long time.
Wow.
So he wouldn't get in trouble. But it was my fault because I protected him for so many years. I protected him, and I like hid everything from everybody so nobody knew, you know, what was going on privately, you know. And so, like, when everything happened, like, I didn't have a leg to stand on, because people were like, well, why is this all coming out now, you know? Because, like, I protected him, you know?
Yeah, that's when we are in a relationship with a partner that you love, and then everyone has different parts to them, right? And some parts are not so good, but you still love the other parts.
I was blind to all the bad. Well, mostly,
yes, you're right, or that too.
I was afraid of being a single mom.
So you stick with them.
And so that got me losing my kids to him. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being a single mom, I don't have them, you know? And what it did was we had 2 businesses. We had 4 cars. We owned a house, you know, like everything. And then all of a sudden I get out of jail from this stuff, and and everything was gone.
Like the house, the cars.
Everything was gone. Everything was it was all gone. I didn't even know where anybody was.
Oh, wow.
And like I had nothing.
You didn't know where your kids were.
I had nothing. I had nobody because he'd isolated me for so long, you know. And so I was literally out in Seattle. I didn't know anybody, and I just, you know.
And my guess is that old feeling of loneliness.
Yeah.
Which you had that.
I immediately started getting high.
Yeah, just to cope.
Yeah.
And so when you get out of jail, they just release you. They don't set you up with anything if you have no place to go.
They did. Okay, at first they did. Because I was in a mental health court. But that's a setup for failure.
Tell me more.
Literally, I was violated for everything you could ever think of, from not wanting to take medicine, from not wanting to go to the mental health doctor that they want me to go to, like private stuff, you know, like everything you could be violated for. And I was passing UAs, and they were like sending me to more in-depth UAs because they didn't believe, you know, like it was just horrible. And like I spent so much time on violation that I did more than I did more time than the maximum time I could have had for, you know. Yeah, it was horrible. And like I got raped in their housing, and what that got me is that got me kicked out of that housing. He stayed. He got to stay. I had to go. And it's a setup for failure, you know. They don't want you to succeed in that. You know, they don't. Yeah, they don't want you to see. They put you in a house, shared housing, with more than one program going on, right?
Oh, multiple programs.
Yeah, so you have the mental health court, right? Which you have to be clean and sober, all this shit, right? Yet half the building is harm reduction.
Oh, so people are doing.
Yeah, so half the building is harm reduction, and then they want you to be clean and sober among.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you said, doesn't sound like it's set up for success.
Yeah, so I opted out of that, and then I was, like, when I opted out of that, I was just dropped off the,
So where did you go when you got out of that program? Like, where did you?
The jungle.
Jungle.
In Chinatown.
Wow.
Yeah. They took me in, yeah. So, yeah, I spent a long time there. Like, from 2018 till 2022, probably.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah. Like, in the deep darkness of it, And then I left the jungle and came out here.
Yeah, so how did you get out? Why did you say?
Everybody was dying. And I just slowly started, like, going out and doing, other places and stuff like that. And then I just got stuck out here.
For the people who don't know what the jungle is, how would you describe that?
Hell. On one hand, hell, but on the other hand, it was good to me too, because I had nobody and they gave me a family.
Took you in.
They took me in. But it's just hard to explain.
So once you got up here in North Seattle, Aurora area,
I started prostituting.
Yeah. Oh, then you started doing that.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Gotcha. And your kids, are you in contact with your kids?
I don't want them to see me like this. I'm not the person they remember right now.
Right.
So, because when I first relapsed, like, all I ever did was meth, And, like, oh, God, so fast. Like, I stayed okay, like, I think, so probably in 2020, I started using heroin.
That's when the pandemic kicked in?
Yeah, when I was using heroin briefly, and then the blues, and the Fetty started, and I went to that. And then I started smoking crack. Yeah.
I mean, these are things that I hear that, I'm like, okay, you're coping with the pain and the loneliness. We all cope, illegal or legal drugs, whatever it is, we all cope with something, somehow, some way. Which, no judgment here, I could care less.
Yeah.
But that's what I hear, the pain.
Yeah, like, and then people are, like, they say, oh, if you get sober, like, then you can maybe start to work towards this with your kids and stuff like that. It's like, do you know how hard it is? That people don't understand, like, I'm by myself, with no support, nothing. Like, when I go to be sober, like, I'm gonna be completely alone, because I have nobody. It's like.
And that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, and then after that, I can work towards this. But when I got sober before, right, then it was my ex-husband, he totally plays games, Because I got sober, and he said, oh, well, you know what, I think it'd be better if you had a stable job before you started working towards being with your kids, and it's always something else. It's always something else. When I do something, it's always something else, that little bit of control he can have,
And that, my guess is, feels overwhelming.
Yeah, so I just shut down.
Right.
Yeah.
I
shut down and avoid.
Yeah.
Easier to go get high,
Yeah. And that's what I think, people don't understand.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's why I do this, so people go like, it's not that easy just to
Quit.
bounce back, quit,
No.
crawl out. It's like
And once
so many barriers.
Yeah, and once it happens, like once it happens, it's so hard to fucking. It's so hard to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Just being homeless, you can't do anything when you're homeless, because every day you have to fucking worry about where you're gonna sleep the night safely, especially if you're a woman. Because, man, I've been raped so many times I can't even fucking count. You know what I'm saying? Like, some shit happened, like, you know what I'm saying? And thankfully I got housing now, you know. But fucking, I'm barely there because I hate it. They put me way far away from everybody I know.
Right.
Again, look, I'm taken away from everything, you know.
Right. Your
Like,
community, the people that you
they took
do
me,
support you a little
yeah, they took me away to Burien.
Wow, that's far.
You know, I hate it there so bad, you know. So, like, I never want to be there, you know. Yeah. It's impossible, you know.
Yeah. Tell me about the Commons.
They have been the only, like, sunshine, for real. You know. They, like, everything I've accomplished is because of them. It's their help, you know. Everything I've gone through, they've been there 100% for me, you know. Yeah.
A question I like to ask as we wrap up, Sancha, is there anything that you would want the people of Seattle to know?
We're not monsters.
Tell me more.
You are one paycheck away from us. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I hope you get to reconnect with your kids.
Me too.
And be mom.
Me too. Thank you.
Yeah. Are you open for a hug?
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, hang in there.
Thank you.
Hang in there. Thank you so much for sharing. Appreciate it.